morning, everybody. How are you? That was pretty incredible, wasn't it? I got to listen to it just now. And I think the reason why I'm here is to help unlock and give you guys a view into what's going on in the world of service. So my name is Mike Milburn. I run the Service Cloud at Salesforce. I've got about a 20-year history in the business of service. When I say service, I mean anything from customer service to shared services to IT service and to public service. And today, what I'm hopefully going to unlock or give you guys a view into is what we're seeing all around the world in the business of service. And I'm going to go right out and say that we're living in the golden time of service for three key reasons. The first is because your executives, the executive leaderships in the public sector teams and on the private sector teams have made service one of the most important metrics that they're measuring. Number two, you've never had access to technology like you have now. The ability to build and innovate at this incredible speed is in your hands. And then three, if you think about it, the lines have really blurred. Are you an employee, or are you a customer, or are you a citizen? Those are the same word now, right? And when you leave your day job, when you go home, what you expect out of the consumer world is exactly what employees and citizens are expecting as well. So that's what we're going to share today. And here we go. So first, we got to start off with a safe harbor statement. Salesforce is a publicly traded company. Please make all purchasing decisions based off of currently available technology. And this is available on our website. The world that we live in is undeniably a connected world. And to understand where it's going to go, you have to understand where it started. And in the 1950s, we started off by connecting literally thousands of machines with mainframes and dumb terminals. And that was great, but it evolved and it changed. And then that moved into the client-server world, where those thousands went to millions. And then in the 90s and the 2000s, with cloud and open and social and mobile, it went into billions of transactions and customer engagements. But now we're in a new era, and we're in this new era that is defined by IoT, and it's defined by artificial intelligence. And in this new era, there's literally trillions of transactions. And these trillions of transactions between the devices that you need, between your car or your thermostat or your business or your phone, give you incredible insight to what your customers or your citizens are asking for. And this technology change has been witnessed by some of the world's most influential leaders. And this slide shows just a few of the leaders, and it's many of you in this room and the organizations that you work for that are using technology and this rapid pace and scale of change in the ability to connect with your customers. They're using it for incredibly purpose-built connection with those citizens, with those customers, with those employees. So this is what you share with everybody across the world on both the public and the private sector. And our mission at Salesforce is to help make this easier for you, okay? So when I think about the difference between the consumer, the business, security, or education, or healthcare, from a connection standpoint, I don't see a difference. Again, pull out your phones, okay? Look at your phone and think about what you did this past weekend. Think about if you traveled, or if you took your kids to games or sporting events. How did you use your phone? You probably used apps on your phone, you connected in those apps, and you looked at information, or you even engaged with the businesses on your phone. I was in Europe all last week. I did 5 cities, London, Munich, Zurich, back to London, 4 cities, and then back home. I had to change travel, I had to change hotels, I had to get taxis and Ubers, I had to change restaurants, I had to find things. And I was able to do this fast and easy and seamlessly because I was connected in this new era. Right? This is the world that we all live in, where we're using our phones and our mobile devices to connect. And so the question is, why can't we use that for even more good? Why can't we connect citizens and governments and municipalities together? So this is a very famous slide in Salesforce, right? And we call this the Croc Slide. And what this represents is our goal to help customers cross the chasm. On the left-hand side, you see the traditional business models. Again, think of your phone. Think of your kids' phones. They interact with businesses and consumer organizations whenever they want, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, through the apps that give them access to any piece of information real time. right? But then you think about the public sector and the traditional public sector, and you think about having to go to some place or fill out a form or download information, and there's kind of two different models. And our job is to help bridge the chasm, to help be able to offer those same kinds of consumer apps, to be able to offer those fast and easy and affordable and completely iterative and innovative for the public sector. That's the mission that we're out to solve for your business. So you have leaders that you can look towards. There are great leaders like Square, where a small business owner can overnight create a payment system and they can launch a business. I know so many of my friends that have started businesses or home businesses where they use Square. We see it in the taxis, right? Almost overnight, we've changed the way that happens. I'm in San Francisco, and there's a building in San Fran called the Ferry Building, and there's a farmer's market. And the farmer's market, people come from all over, and they have a wonderful food trucks, many of them, and you're able to pay with Square. It's innovative, it's fast, it's easy, and we trust it, right? Or what about Nest? With your home thermostat, the leaders of that company were able to create a way where you could install this piece of technology, and it would help you understand your heating and ventilation and air conditioning habits. That would save you money and would help predict the future for your home for HVAC. And then, of course, Uber, right? Uber's made all of our lives easier by the ability to order on-demand transportation. So these leaders are your cousins, but you also have some very close relatives that are doing some very disruptive things. And those leaders are people like the GSA. They've moved over 100 apps to connect with communities and citizens to the cloud. And they're having incredible results on the speed of delivery or the ROI and TCO behind those apps, and retiring legacy servers that were keeping them down, keeping them on the left side of the crack, or the right side. They enabled those to help move customers to the future, okay? So this is the way that we think about it. Our goal at Salesforce is to help create technology that every one of your organizations can use. And fast and easy, you can create apps. And inside of those apps, you can engage the customers where they are. They're on their phones. And you can help them, give them access to critical information. Or if you can engage with them real time. We just had an incredible conference in San Francisco called Dreamforce. And we made an app called the Dreamforce app. And we published all the registration. We published all the FAQs, all the information behind it. We even had an emergency app where if you had a critical emergency, you could text into that app and our security team would help you. We had a two-way video embedded right in that app. So if somebody had a question, they want to engage with you face-to-face, you could just talk to them right through that app. This is available technology for each and every one of you guys to use in your organizations. And when you do that, you're going to unlock a whole bunch of hidden data. When you can get your customers and your citizens to engage with you, you're going to unlock data. And our job is to provide technology for you so that you can be smarter and more agile. So we released this incredible, powerful technology that we call Einstein. And Einstein is like your own personal data scientist. So when your customers are in your app and they're asking questions or they're engaging with you, Einstein can help understand what is the most important components in there and then help answer those questions or help your agents answer your customers' questions or even answer them automatically for you. Artificial intelligence is going to be one of the most defining characteristics for the next 5 years and beyond. And our goal is to provide you, every one of your businesses, with your own data scientists for that. And ultimately, what this is going to do is this is going to drive expectations. Behind every form of service, and I mean service with a capital S, there's one thing, which is expectations. If you ask for help and somebody tells you that it's going to take an hour, a day, a month, or a year, you have to meet those needs. And when you're engaging your citizens and when you're providing them more intelligent service, you're going to be better able to predict the outcomes. And that's a really important characteristic that is on the top of my mind, helping create better outcomes for your customers. So the service business is run based off of metrics, right? If I were to go and sit with all of you guys or each one of you guys would have metrics that your business is defined by. And as you digest this slide, I'd like to go off the slide for a second. Think of it like when you go into budgeting season. If your team or your group was given over 40% more budget Would that be okay? Yeah? Or what if your personal income grew by over 40% every year? How would you feel about that? Pretty good, right? Okay. So sometimes I think in the world of service, we don't give ourselves enough credit and enough applause for focusing on these important metrics. On the left-hand side, there's CSAT. Customer satisfaction is the measurement of the relationship between you and your customer. And this is the only metric that goes from all the way from the customer to the boardroom of any business in anywhere in the world. And you guys are able to drive an incredible 45% increase in that. So you need to be really proud and recognize that. And I don't think that you quite sort of grasp sometimes that you have incredible leadership in the public sector that is already doing incredible things, like the FDA, that is using cloud technologies to help connect deeper with device manufacturers so they can get insight to what's going on in the devices, when they're happening, and be transparent about it. That helps all of us. Or the state of Colorado that has created engagement apps that mirror the best engagement apps in the private sector they've created in the public sector. I gave a talk there about 2 months ago, and I was blown away by the creativity and development and energy and inspiration. And they were saying, how do we use these cloud molecules to do even more? And then, of course, right here locally, the government of New York or of Washington, D.C. locally is using cloud and Salesforce to help provide better health care. So you're not the first. But what you have access to is you have access to incredible agile technology that enables you to be trailblazers and leaders in the business of service. And I think to kind of wrap it up to where I started, I think we're in the golden age of service. And I think that as leaders in the service world, you now have access to incredible technology to connect with your employees, with your customers, and with your citizen, because those are the same person. Go back and think about your daily life and what you do when you're off the clock. You demand and you expect a high degree of service. So this is the challenge that's been kind of laid out here, right? You have the tech, you've got the leadership. Laverne talked about it. Regimes might change. People might have different opinions. But you guys have access to this incredibly powerful, innovative time. The customers are asking for it. The metrics are out there. The leadership supports it. And so, again, our job at Salesforce is to provide this tech and stay ahead of the future for you. So I think you're living in an amazing time. I'm so enthusiastic and opportunity. I feel so much hope for what you're able to accomplish to connect to all of your citizens, to all of your customers. Thank you guys very much. Cheers.